a question as old as time itself. Why do we work? This is a question that has echoed through the ages. From the earliest humans to the modern worker, the need to labor has shaped our lives. But why? Is it a necessary evil? Or is work something more? To understand, we must journey back to where it all began. Think of a time before jobs, before money, before the very concept of work existed. In the beginning, there was no work as we understand it. Early humans lived as hunter-gatherers. They spent their days searching for food and shelter. Their work was survival. It was a hard life, but it was also a life of freedom. There were no bosses, no deadlines, no time clocks. Life was about living in harmony with nature. This way of life lasted for millennia, but it wouldn't last forever. The seeds of change were soon to be sown. As civilizations rose, so too did new systems of labor. One of the darkest chapters in human history is the emergence of slavery. Powerful empires enslaved conquered peoples. Forced labor became the backbone of their economies. Slaves built magnificent cities, cultivated vast fields, and served the whims of their masters. They toiled under the harshest conditions. Their lives were a testament to the cruelty that humans are capable of. This system of forced labor cast a long shadow on human history. After the fall of Rome, Europe entered the medieval period. Feudalism emerged as the dominant social order. Under this system, people were bound to the land. They worked for a lord in exchange for protection. Peasants toiled in the fields, their lives dictated by the seasons. They were not slaves, but they had little freedom. Their lot in life was determined by their birth. This system, while offering some stability, stifled innovation and individual ambition. A trade for survival, the birth of specialized skills. In the medieval era, survival was the primary concern for most people. However, as societies began to stabilize and grow, the need for more specialized skills emerged. This was a pivotal moment in history, marking the transition from a purely subsistence-based economy to one where trade and craftsmanship could flourish. As towns and cities grew, so too did the need for specialized skills. The bustling streets of medieval towns were filled with the sounds of commerce and the sights of various tradespeople plying their crafts. From blacksmiths forging tools to bakers preparing bread, each trade played a crucial role in the community's daily life. People began to organize into guilds. These guilds were more than just professional associations. They were integral to the social and economic fabric of medieval life. They provided a sense of identity and belonging to their members, who often spent their entire lives perfecting their craft. These were associations of craftsmen and merchants. Guilds regulated the quality of goods produced, ensuring that customers received products that met certain standards. They also controlled the training of new apprentices, passing down valuable knowledge from one generation to the next. They offered training, set standards, and protected their members' interests. Apprenticeships were a common way for young people to learn a trade. Under the guidance of a master craftsman, apprentices would spend years honing their skills before becoming journeymen and, eventually, masters themselves. Blacksmiths, bakers, weavers, and other tradespeople emerged. Each trade had its own unique set of skills and tools, and the expertise of these tradespeople was highly valued. Their work not only supported their families, but also contributed to the overall prosperity of their communities. They offered their skills in exchange for payment. This exchange of goods and services for money or other commodities was a fundamental aspect of the medieval economy. It allowed tradespeople to earn a living and provided them with the means to purchase goods and services from others. This was a significant shift. The rise of specialized skills and trades marked a departure from the agrarian lifestyle that had dominated for centuries. It paved the way for economic diversification and the growth of urban centers. Work was no longer solely about survival. or obligation. It became a means of personal and economic advancement. Tradespeople could take pride in their work, knowing that their skills were essential to the community's well-being. It was becoming a means of earning a living and improving one's station in life. The success of skilled tradespeople and merchants contributed to the overall prosperity of medieval society, laying the groundwork for the economic systems we know today. The Machine Age, the Industrial Revolution and its discontents. The 18th century brought about a revolution. Machines began to replace human labor. The Industrial Revolution was born. Factories sprung up and people flocked to cities for work. This new era promised progress and prosperity, but it also came at a cost. Dark Satanic Mills, the human cost of progress. The phrase dark satanic mills was coined by poet William Blake, capturing the grim reality of the early industrial era. Factories belched smoke and the air was thick with soot. The relentless march of progress came at a steep price. The early years of the Industrial Revolution were marked by harsh working conditions. Factories were often poorly ventilated and workers had to endure extreme temperatures. The machinery, though revolutionary, was unforgiving and dangerous. The noise was deafening, and the air was filled with dust and fumes. Men, women, and even children toiled long hours in dangerous factories. Child labor was rampant, with children as young as 5 working in mills and mines. They worked from dawn till dusk, with little time for rest or education. The physical and emotional toll was immense. They faced low wages, unsafe conditions, and the constant threat of injury. Accidents were common, and many workers suffered from chronic illnesses due to the hazardous environment. The lack of safety regulations meant that workers were often left to fend for themselves. The promise of progress seemed a distant dream for many. Despite the economic growth, the benefits were not evenly distributed. Workers lived in overcrowded tenements with poor sanitation and limited access to clean water. The stark contrast between the wealthy industrialists and the impoverished workers was glaring. The plight of the working class could not be ignored. As the industrial cities grew, so did the awareness of the workers' suffering. Labor strikes and protests became more frequent as workers demanded better conditions and fair wages. The voices of the oppressed began to resonate. Reformers and activists emerged, demanding better treatment for workers. Figures like Robert Owen and Charles Dickens highlighted the injustices faced by the working class. Their writings and speeches brought attention to the need for change, inspiring others to join the cause. They challenged the very foundations of the industrial system. The push for labor rights led to the formation of unions and the introduction of labor laws. These movements sought to balance the scales, ensuring that progress did not come at the expense of human dignity. Their voices would eventually lead to significant change. Over time, the efforts of these reformers bore fruit. Laws were enacted to protect workers, improve working conditions, and ensure fair wages. The legacy of their struggle is a testament to the enduring human spirit and the quest for justice. A voice for the voiceless, the fight for workers' rights. Out of the darkness of the early industrial era rose a new force, the labor movement. Workers began to organize, forming unions to fight for their rights. They demanded better wages, reasonable hours, and safer working conditions. It was a long and arduous struggle. Strikes were met with resistance and victories were hard won, but slowly progress was made. Labor laws were passed, child labor was abolished, and workers gained a voice in the workplace. The 9-to-5 grind, a new kind of workday. The 20th century saw the rise of the modern job. As industries evolved, so did the nature of work. The office became the new factory, a place where clerical and administrative tasks were performed. The 9-to-5 workday became the norm for many. This structured schedule was designed to maximize productivity and create a clear separation between work and personal life. Offices replaced factories as the primary workplace. The shift from manual labor to desk jobs marked a significant change in how people spent their days. Work became more structured, more bureaucratic. The introduction of paperwork, meetings, and hierarchical structures defined the new work environment. This new era brought about stability and security for many workers. Regular paychecks, benefits, and a sense of routine provided a level of comfort previously unknown to many. But it also led to a sense of monotony and alienation. The repetitive nature of tasks and the rigid structure of the workday often left employees feeling disconnected from their work. The daily grind, the endless commute, the rush to get to the office on time, and the struggle to beat the evening traffic became daily challenges. The feeling of being a cog in a vast machine. These became the hallmarks of modern work for many. The uniformity of office spaces, the pressure to perform, and the lack of personal fulfillment were common experiences. As we move forward, the challenge is to find a balance, to create work environments that foster creativity, flexibility, and personal growth while maintaining the stability and security that the traditional 9-to-5 offered. A world-connected globalization and its impact on labor. The late 20th and early 21st centuries saw the rise of globalization. The world became increasingly interconnected. Goods, services, and people moved across borders with unprecedented ease. This had a profound impact on the nature of work. Manufacturing jobs shifted to countries with lower labor costs. The service sector boomed, creating new opportunities but also contributing to income inequality. The very definition of work was becoming increasingly fluid and complex. The digital revolution has transformed the way we work. The internet and mobile technology have made it possible to work from anywhere. Remote work is on the rise, offering flexibility and freedom, but also blurring the lines between work and personal life. The traditional office is no longer the only workplace. Coffee shops, co-working spaces, and home offices are becoming increasingly common. This new era of work offers both challenges and opportunities for workers and employers alike.